live in Western Oregon. This is NBC 16 Today.
Good morning and happy Thursday. Welcome into NBC 16 Today. Lily, you were just teasing me because you're saying my mood has improved exponentially each day as we've gone through this week.
Yes, I said I need to set up take a video of every time we say good morning throughout the week, because Monday it starts with morning. And by Thursday, he came in chipper. Good morning, Lily. So
I was really chipper, like exceptionally chipper.
Yeah.
Lily, good morning.
Yes, that means we have to be close to Friday.
Tomorrow, what's going to happen? I might jump through the roof tomorrow.
Oh,
I might just start running through walls.
I'll definitely have my video camera ready. Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, there is reason why, because the weather's also shaping up a little bit better. You can see the cloud coverage still evident through the tower cam. We're going to be in another day that's not quite as hot. It's Thursday. You're right. I'm just in a slightly better mood, that close to the weekend. And when I get to the afternoon, walking my dog outside won't be a scorcher. Still warm, but nothing overwhelming. Now, that cloud coverage also meant the afternoon warmth from yesterday got held in overnight, meaning our morning temperatures are going to be a little bit warmer pretty consistently across the board. We're seeing temperatures up into the 60s along the I-5 corridor, not far behind the coast in the mid to upper 50s. As you head south towards the southern portion of our viewing area, not far ahead of the Eugene area, Roseburg just at 63, a couple of degrees warmer. So pretty similar conditions that you're seeing along the coastline and along the I-5 corridor, just a touch cooler out along the coast than it is where we are on those valley floors. Satellite radar not showing a ton of activity. Again, the clouds just probably laying a little too low this morning to really register on our satellite radar. So that cloud coverage is still widespread as we kick off our Thursday, and probably will be throughout the day as well. Well, also some breezy conditions, especially watch the coast as we head through the next 24 hours. Sustained winds up into the teens. Gold Beach once again cracking that 20 mile an hour threshold. I-5 corridor probably low teens as the gustiest parts of our day will be concerned. Temperatures, like I said, not quite as warm, but those clouds break up in the afternoon, meaning a couple extra degrees into the mid-80s today.
At least 50 complaints have been filed against Eugene Police after officers responded to a protest outside the federal building last Tuesday. The complaints were submitted to Oregon's Sanctuary Promise Hotline, a state program that tracks potential violations of the state sanctuary policies. According to state law, Oregon police and public agencies cannot assist in federal immigration enforcement without a court order signed by a judge. Community members claim EPD worked too closely with ICE agents as protesters were attempting to speak out against detainments at Eugene's ICE field office.
They were asked by federal agency to monitor this situation, and they did. I did not see EPD officers handcuff anybody and help load them into vans, but what I did see them do is respond to a call to facilitate the transportation of people who are deported.
EPD says officers responded only after federal agents reported safety issues and property damage. Witnesses say multiple EPD vehicles arrived after demonstrators attempt to block an ICE transport vehicle. EPD says it did not engage with protesters and remains compliant with Oregon sanctuary laws. The complaints are now under review by the Oregon Department of Justice. While EPD is not legally required to respond to DOJ questions about alleged violations, people who believe their rights were violated under Oregon sanctuary law do have the right to pursue civil legal action in court.
Oregon is home to the only government-run hotline in the country designed to uphold sanctuary laws and support immigrant communities. NBC 16's Tiffany Lewis spoke with the state Justice Department to learn more about how that hotline works.
I think the most common misconception is that sanctuary status means that federal immigration authorities cannot operate in Oregon, and that is a myth.
State law makes it clear. Oregon police and public agencies cannot assist in federal immigration enforcement without a court order signed by a judge. But confusion is a pervasive issue.
Commonly, what we are explaining to folks on the hotline is that ICE or DHS or USCIS or whomever the agency is can conduct their business. And again, that business being detaining, transporting, deporting individuals here in Oregon.
The Sanctuary Promise Hotline is more than just a number. It's a resource created in 2022 to serve as a reporting, support, and referral system. connecting community members with legal resources and documenting complaints against agencies for alleged violations of sanctuary policies. The Sanctuary Promise Act, passed in 2021, strengthened Oregon's existing sanctuary laws and created the hotline. The hotline takes in everything from legal questions to urgent requests for help after a loved one is detained and awaiting deportation.
The legislature outlined specific duties for the Sanctuary Promise Hotline, and that was to provide a trauma-informed, culturally responsive space for community members to report suspected violations of Oregon's sanctuary laws.
Callers are also provided with next step options, including relocation or financial assistance, and information about possible recourse after filing a complaint. All complaints are documented and the data is shared publicly so Oregonians can see where concerns are rising. And any legal enforcement for possible violations must be dealt with through civil lawsuits, not prosecution by the Justice Department.
Oregon Department of Justice does not have that authority. The legislature did not intend for Oregon DOJ to have that authority. They intended for community members to have that power to seek that recourse through a private right of action and have a judge make that determination.
Under the Sanctuary Promise Act, public agencies are not required to respond to DOJ inquiries about complaints, and there's no legal obligation to participate in investigations. Oregon's DOJ says the majority of reports are not reports of alleged violations. Most people are just seeking resources and clarification on the state's sanctuary law.
Our hotline is a first in the nation program where community members can report and be connected with resources, learn about the law and the limitations of the law, and get connected with support and next step options.
In Eugene, I'm Tiffany Lewis reporting.
Thank you, Tiffany. The Sanctuary Promise Hotline is available in 240 languages and is staffed by advocates trained in trauma-informed care. To find out more about the hotline, visit our website, NBC16.com. And continuing in immigration news, President Trump's border czar, Tom Homan, said earlier this week that he's coming to Portland. He said that during an interview on Fox Business.
However, there's been no confirmation on when or even if he is making his way to Oregon's largest city. As our Portland sister station reports, protesters say if Homan comes out, more people will likely join their ranks.
Seems like we have a technical issue there. We'll bring that back up in just a little bit. In the meantime, let's move on to our next story. We're looking into our crime tracker this morning. EPD is giving thanks to the city's automated license plate reader system. They say the technology aided in an arrest of a murder suspect wanted out of Wisconsin. EPD says last month it was alerted that 34-year-old Isaiah Terrell Taylor was wanted out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and that he may have went to Oregon to avoid arrest. Once detectives entered Taylor's license plate number into the system, Taylor was located and arrested on 18th Avenue and Lincoln Street. If you know anything about Taylor's activities while he was in the area, you're encouraged to contact EPD. And this evening, the Eugene Police Commission will be holding a public meeting with one topic on the agenda being those license plate readers and the technology which is being implemented here in Eugene. Like in that case, LPR technology has led to arrests in our area, but it has also raised concerns about privacy. You can attend the Police Commission meeting in person at the Police Department headquarters or online as well. Lily, I know you weren't here in the beginning when this first started, but obviously a controversial topic. People have been taking to social media to issue their concerns and in time support for this sort of technology because it can be used, like we just saw, to help aid in investigation.
Yeah, definitely two sides to the story. Chief Skinner confirming one concern is that there will be no facial recognition. Also, that data will be only with EPD and not the flock company. So that's a comfort.
Yeah, so it stays local, but I think even some people taking to Facebook, Reddit, other social media platforms to say, I don't care who owns the information. I don't want the Eugene Police. I don't want Flock. I don't want anybody to be able to hold on to that license plate information. So tonight, 5:30 at the Eugene Police headquarters on Country Club Road or online via Zoom. You can attend that meeting, have your voice heard about this kind of concern. That's how you institute this sort of change here in this country.
Most definitely. Moving on now, police officers across the country act under a simple motto: to protect and serve. And serve doesn't end when the uniform comes off. Officers from both the Eugene and Springfield police departments took to the streets to help raise awareness for Special Olympics Oregon yesterday. The annual torch run went from the Springfield Justice Center to the John Serbo Youth Campus, then on to Valley River Center. This is the 39th year for SPD and EPD to take part in the relay. And officers who take part say it's more than just a good cause, it's a good feeling.
Watching pure happiness when the athletes compete, it's not always about winning for them, it's about participating with their friends, with their family, and just seeing the smiles on their faces. It affects us, and I know it'll affect their community members if they go up there and observe.
In addition to raising awareness, the run also helps raise money for Special Olympics, an organization that works with special needs families to champion inclusion and acceptance. Special Olympics Summer Games kick off this weekend on the Oregon State University campus in Corvallis. The games this weekend are the state level competitions for athletics, bocce ball, softball, and golf.